I'm 99.9% sure I have undiagnosed ADHD. I can't finish projects, I can't focus on anything boring, and I procrastinate until the last possible second. But there's one thing I can actually finish: video games. Specifically, 100%ing them. And that taught me more about how my brain works than any self-help book ever could. I love video games. I have always loved them, ever since I was 5 years old. To quote one of my friends, "You have played more games than the collective number of teeth among our friend group." So yeah, I love gaming. I have always been able to finish games I love. Some I have even replayed every year. But 100% in games, that's where I learned how my brain actually works. Let's talk about 3 games that taught me the most. The first game I'm gonna talk about is none other than Stardew Valley. When I tell people that I love this game, I mean it with every inch of my soul. I have more than 400 hours clocked into the game, and 100%ing this game was definitely a time-consuming task. This was the very first game for which I collected all of the achievements. The memories I made while playing this game will forever remain with me. I have played the game the moment it came out, every new update, have different save files with 3 different people, and 2 of my own. And there was not a single moment during which I was bored. I could not be bored. There's just so much to do in the game, especially if you're willing to go for all the achievements. I was so invested in the game and completing it that I was pulling up multiple notepads on my computer for simply buying crops, the number that I needed, the things I needed to ship, following what items I had to craft, looking at the calendar almost daily, and my god, I loved every second of it. You wanna know the number of things you need to do in this game in order to achieve perfection? To reach perfection in Stardew Valley, you need to do everything. Ship every item, max every relationship, catch every fish, build absolutely every structure. And the list goes on. If you think these don't sound that bad, then boy, you are mistaken. The game is huge, it has a ton of content, but at the same time I can understand people who might get bored with getting every achievement. It's a long journey that takes a lot of planning ahead, because on the not so rare occasion you miss out on buying an item you need or getting lucky at certain stages of the game, you will realize that it's not gonna be all sunshine and rainbows. However, there's still one achievement in the game that is not technically required for perfection, but you do need it for 100% of achievements, and that involves a little minigame called Journey of the Prairie King. I'm sure just mentioning its name brought up some unresolved issues inside players who went through the same mental torture I did while trying to get this achievement. This achievement alone took me 8 goddamn hours to get. Why, you ask? Let me tell you why. Because in order to get the last and final achievement, you need to beat the minigame without dying even once. There's no checkpoints between levels, your character's hitboxes are not consistent, the enemies all spawn in random pattern, and to top it all off, there are bosses at the end of every level who are solely there to make your life a living hell. No wonder only 1.3% of the players have this achievement unlocked. It's hard, and I mean hard. Getting this achievement filled me with euphoria that I have never felt before. Moving on from our little farming sim, the second game on my list is gonna have to be one of my favorite roguelikes, Minecraft Dungeons. This is one of those games that I managed to get at one of the best times possible, because I think I got the game with all of its DLCs for around 25 euros a while ago, but only got around completing it in 2025. I like the weapon designs, most of the enemy designs, the levels looked good, and I had a ton of fun going run after run after run. That is, until I got to some of the most frustrating achievements in the game. While this video is about games that help me lock down my stupid little brain for enough time to concentrate, this game definitely managed to do that because some of the achievements require so much luck that I was almost inclined to take a huge bite out of my monitor while playing. For example, achievements like Soulless Season, which require me to reach the maximum level in the Season 1 pass in order to get a cape, a single cape. Then of course there are other funny achievements like A Taste of Their Own Medicine, which required me to restart my runs tens of times to finally get free of the same enemy types to spawn. And you know what? This wasn't even the worst achievement. The ones that made me get hemorrhoids were actually these 3. Back to Back, Alpha Centurion, and last but not least, Homecoming. Some achievements were pure frustration. One required me to play on the second day of the month. I waited 2 weeks just for a shot at it, by the way. Another was pure RNG. I restarted runs dozens of times hoping the right enemies would spawn. But the worst, Alpha Centurion. It took 3 weeks of grinding the same tower and over hoping for tower guards to spawn. Some weeks there was only one. Some weeks there were literally none. Regardless of my hardships, I enjoyed it a lot, and I am very excited for Minecraft Dungeons 2, which was just announced, so 2026 is shaping up to be a pretty goated year gaming wise. And finally, time for our last game. This choice was pretty hard to make, because despite the fact that I haven't 100%ed a lot of games just yet, I did complete a few that took a handful of hours, and some that were the most annoying games ever because of the bugs that I didn't even think I would ever encounter. But in the end, I decided to go with Hades 2. Hades 2 will be a special piece in my heart because it's one of, if not my favorite roguelikes of all time. I couldn't for the life of me point out even one achievement that felt like a chore here. Like, you just got them by simply playing the game and having fun. Listening to characters interacting with one another, trying out goofier and goofier builds, trying to get higher and higher fear runs, and of course, I went ahead and collected all of the statues of Malinois, which are just so... You know what I'm talking about. Of course, it did help that the prequel was also one of my favorite games, and still is. And this one just upgraded itself in every way imaginable. To me, there will never be another game like Hades 1 and 2. These games truly stand out among roguelikes because of their intriguing gameplay mechanics, the way the characters interact with each other, the absolutely gorgeous art style, the uniqueness of all the weapons. Well, some aspects can get boring, but I digress. And my god do I love fighting the bosses, something which was much more frustrating before the 1.0 update. I am looking at you, Prometheus. I will never forget you almost killing me in 5 hits. Supergiant Games definitely outdid themselves, and this IP isn't even their first, because they made 3 different games before they released Hades, which just goes to show how much they managed to improve. Hades 2 definitely taught me something that other games didn't. Sometimes the grind doesn't have to feel like a grind. Every run felt different, every death taught me something. The game brought back core memories of when I started playing The Binding of Isaac for the first time. I didn't necessarily care about the achievements, I was just playing run after run, all for the fun of it. Enjoying the process is definitely the key to achieving results in the long run. And that can be said about anything in life. Take this YouTube channel for instance. I used to stress out about the algorithm, about making videos people wanted to watch, about optimizing everything. But I realized that's the wrong approach. If I enjoy making the videos, I will improve naturally. And if I stop enjoying it, that's when I will know I need to change something. It's a hobby, not a job. And once I stopped treating it like work, it became fun again. So what does any of this have to do with ADHD? Everything. These games gave my brain what it needed. Clear goals, visible progress, and constant rewards. I couldn't focus in class because lectures were vague and boring. I couldn't finish projects because they felt overwhelming. But games? Games break everything into manageable steps. Collect this, craft that, beat this boss. Check, check, check. And that's when I realized, my brain doesn't hate work, it hates ambiguity. Give me a checklist, give me a clear goal, and I will hyper-focus for 8 hours straight. I just needed to learn how to work with it instead of against it. One time I even managed to create a project all by myself in the matter of 1 week that was the size of an entire dissertation project. All because video games helped me learn how to channel my thoughts and focus on things that actually interest me. If you're struggling with focus, with finishing things, feeling like your brain doesn't work the way it's supposed to, try finding your version of 100% in games. Maybe it's a checklist, maybe it's a project with clear milestones, maybe it's just breaking one big goal into 50 tiny ones. Your brain isn't broken, it just needs the right structure. And once you find it, you will surprise yourself with what you can finish. If this helped, leave a like and subscribe for more. I will see you next week, bye bye.